guys, and welcome back to the fourth and final lesson of this little block of Back to Basic chanter lessons. I really hope you've enjoyed the first three lessons. I'm sorry this one's taken a little bit longer to come out, but here we are anyway, and we're going to go over a couple of techniques just to help you practice the different notes that we've learned. We're still keeping it basic, we're not touching on any embellishments yet. We're just going to work on different ways of combining the notes. Alright, so let's get to it. So far guys, we've worked on the scale going from low G just straight up to high A with no variation whatsoever. We've gone and you've all been working really hard, practicing that, getting that B to C perfect, getting that D to E off, and I hope you've worked at that and you've mastered that. But now we're going to move on to a couple of things. I'm going to help you to understand a little bit more of the music notation so that you can read the notes, so you know what note to play and different ways of combining them. So first off, we're going to have a little recap on what the notes look like, and in this first exercise we're going to be focusing on the notes that have the line going right through them. So you've got your 5 lines on your script, and we're going to focus on the notes that have a line going through them. So remember the first note that we did, your low G, which sits with that second bottom line going right through it. So that's your low G. Next up, we're not going to the low A this time, we're going to go up to B. So that sits with that next line going right through it. So that's your B. Next up, what do you think it is? D, the next line up. So you can see we're just going up a line each time. What's next? F. We're going to go to that F note. Line through it, down, and there's F. And now high A, probably the easiest recognisable one. Remember, it's got its own little line going through it. It's the one that looks like Saturn. It's always at the top, and it's always sitting proudly with that hat on it. So that's the notes that we're going to be playing. Low G, B, D, F, high A. So when we put that onto the chanter, we start with the low G, up to the B, up to the D, up to the F, up to the high A. And then we'll go back down. As you can see, you've been used to going note to note. Now we're skipping a few, and having looked at the music, you're getting a better understanding of what the notes look like. So if we can spend a little bit of time and practicing those notes, the notes on the lines, your low G, your B, your D, your F, your high A. looking and understanding the notes each time.
So let's look at the next exercise on paper, and whereas the first exercise we concentrated on notes that were on the lines, now we're going to be focusing on the notes that are in between the lines. So we're going to start off with our low A. That's the lowest note on the bagpipe that sits in between the lines. We don't go any lower in between the lines than that. So that's your low A. You remember how to play that? Yes. Then we're going to go up in between the next two lines. What note's this? It's the C, correct. 10 points if you got that. Next line up, in between the next two lines, what have we got? E, you're right. Yes, it is E. And then sitting on that top line, what have we got there? We've got your high G. Okay, so those are the notes that we're going to play in this exercise. Low A, C, which will be fun, up to E, up to high G.
So let's now look at that on the chanter. Now, you can play all the notes, you've been practicing all these notes, it's just a different way of going up the scale and doing them in a different order. So we're going to start with the low A to the C, then up to the E, then up to the high G. How did we get on with that, guys? Now remember, we're not doing anything different really to what we practiced in the previous 3 weeks. We're just doing the exact same notes, just doing them in a different order and making sure that we understand the difference between the notes that are on the line and the notes that are in between the lines. So we'll spend a little bit of time practicing. So now we've practiced those exercises, we're going to go a little bit rogue. We're going to go random, doing random notes, but in a specific order that I'm planning. And the sharp amongst you, quite quickly, will recognise what we're trying to do.
So in this exercise, we've got a variety of different notes. Now, don't be intimidated by it. If you take a screenshot of this so that you can practice with it, we're going to be going low A to B, back down to low A, up to D, up to E, up to F, back down to E, back up to high A, back down to F, down to E, back up to F, D, down to B, and then down to low A.
So let's put that into practice.
Here's another look at those notes. Take a screenshot and start getting familiar with the patterns.
So let's do that one more time. So there's the first line. We're going low hand, high hand, low hand. trying to combine all those simple notes. Remember, it's just all the simple notes, we're not doing anything fancy yet that we've learned in those first 3 lessons. So give that a go. Now we're going to go on to line 2 of that same exercise. Again, we're going to be combining the top hand and the bottom hand.
So this exercise is a little bit shorter, and again, if you can take a little screenshot of the notes just so that you've got them as reference. Now we're going to be starting off in the top hand this time. We're going to be on the F, down to that bottom hand on the D. Then we're going back up to the F, down to the E. Then we're going right down onto that bottom hand. We're going to give it a B, up to the E, back onto that bottom hand, D, down to B, back up to D, B, and low A. So very up and down, this one, getting your hands a very good workout.
So again, we're going to be combining the top hand and the bottom hand. You got that? Let's try it again. You can break it down nice and slow, note at a time, until eventually we'll manage to do that in one breath. Now, I did say that the sharp-eared amongst you may be able to recognise something, but let's give it a go a little bit faster. That is the basic notes of the Sky Boat song, Speed Body Boat. It's made famous most recently by being the theme tune to Outlander. Now that is it, without any grace notes, doublings, any embellishments whatsoever. Merely doing this to highlight knowing these basic 9 notes and to be able to play them well means that you can play any tune in the world that's played on the bagpipes. So get to know these notes, get to know how to play them right, get to know how they sound, get the fingers being automatic, and then everything else will just come very easily. So thanks very much for spending time watching my videos, guys. I hope, really hope that you got something out of it. As I've emphasised all the way through, it's just about getting these basics done. Now this is going to be the last lesson in this block. If you do wish to go a little bit further with it, then you can get in touch with me and we can try and figure something out. If you do wish to leave a little bit of a tip, which some of you have very kindly done and I really do appreciate it, it isn't expected, but there is a little link in the information and just up above if you wish to give something, but that is totally 100% up to you. In the meantime, guys, keep practicing, keep working hard, and I will be back. If you stay on my mailing list, I will be back to give help in the future. So take care, guys.